Morning, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to have you on as always. So milder today and tomorrow, but as I just mentioned, looking at snow returning later this week. There are some important things for seniors to take care of themselves, if you will, during this weather. Let's start with some of the basics.
Yes, it's very important to remember that as we age, there are physiologic changes that affect our body's ability to auto-regulate our temperature. So even though we're talking about the extreme colds today, it applies to even extreme temperatures in the heat as well, for seniors especially. So one of the things, of course, we have to watch out with the winter months is hypothermia. And that's something that you can avoid by just keeping some things in mind, making sure that you dress in layers if you're going to be outdoors. And when you are in different areas, making sure that you stay dry. If your feet are wet outdoors, make sure you change your socks when you come in. And also, if you keep in mind the extremes of heat, making sure you're staying hydrated and continuing to move around and keep your circulation going as well.
Yeah, and if you do have to get outdoors for anything too, it's often great if you've got like a younger loved one who can help with that, especially if we're talking about shoveling snow or clearing a driveway or anything like that. Also this year, and this is, I think, the case right now, with all of the variation in temperatures, we've got a lot of ice out there. It is so slippery, whether it's a driveway, sidewalk, wherever you are. Falls, we're all prone to them, but with older adults, it can be that much more serious, right?
Absolutely. A fall for a senior can mean a fracture of a hip, which can be a high mortality rate. So some of the things to keep in mind, especially as you said, the weather is a little bit warmer over the next couple days, which is going to cause the snow to melt. And perhaps then it's freezing over the next couple days after that. So that's going to cause some ice to develop, very slick ice, flat black ice as well. So making sure, yes, having someone help you out with perhaps taking your garbage bins out, because I've had family members that are elderly who've taken their garbage bins out, fallen in the driveway, and actually were lucky enough to have someone pass by to notice that they were on the ground in the middle of the winter. But also keeping in mind your footwear, making sure that you have shoes with good traction on them. And then when you return inside from being outside, you may have some snow that's chunked up. That can turn to ice as you step on hard surfaces. Likewise, when you're outside during the summer months or warmer months, if your shoes are wet, just be careful about your surface if you're walking onto hard surfaces with wet shoes, because that can cause falls as well.
Yeah, once you get indoors, good advice as well. And we've got about a minute left, Deb, but carbon monoxide poisoning, unfortunately, we see it more this time of year when people are finding alternative ways to heat their homes, or if power goes out, something to be aware of the symptoms, right?
Yes, and it's always a great reminder. We hear about it every year, tragedies happening because power went out and people are trying to either heat their homes with a gas stove, which is horrible, putting their generators indoors, and those can cause carbon monoxide poisoning. Symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning include an altered state of consciousness. So it's kind of hard to recognize these symptoms as they're coming upon you. Yeah. But if you have more than one person in your home, it's important to keep an eye on each other, because confusion, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, those are all symptoms.
Check on those older loved ones. Deb, always good to see you. Thank you so much.